sitting on your front porch, wondering how could I be so far from my home. And my mind is somewhere else.
Okay. Well, thank you all for being here. And as always, it's great to be together. It's hard to believe that just a couple years ago we couldn't gather in large groups like this. There was a time we couldn't be near a school, a park, a playground, but now we all know what it's like to be R. Kelly. I hope I do a killer performance this evening, not in an Alec Baldwin kind of way. I just hope I can bring you a few laughs over the next couple hours. Now, last year, I was really tough on Nikki, and my mom was not happy with me.
Thank you, Mom!
She made it very clear leading up to this evening that if I talk about Nikki, she is going to stand up and walk right out of here. Just a joke. My mom, we all know, would never be mad at me. Now, the real reason is Ryan threatened me. Ryan threatened to go Will Smith on me if I say anything about Nikki. But let's be honest, Nikki would be better off coming up here than me. Now, if you were here last year, you might recall Easy Ryan. I'm just going to remind him of a story about Nikki. You might remember that Nikki brushed our mom's teeth with hemorrhoid cream. Some of you are hearing that for the first time, so let that sink in for a moment. Now, our dad, let me backtrack for a moment here. Our mom takes CBD oil in spray form. So, our dad, in his best effort not to be outdone by Nikki, instead of spraying her mouth with CBD oil, he sprayed hand sanitizer. So, now Ryan already pointed out that there's a new face in the crowd this year, Samantha's boyfriend, Dan. And I know what you're all thinking, Dan must be deaf. The only other explanation is Dan is being held against his will. Dan, blink twice if you're being held hostage. All right, Dan didn't blink, but Ryan hasn't stopped blinking. Listen, Ryan, you said the I do's. There's no backing out now. No, I am surprised, there's one thing about Dan, unlike Samantha, he loves to be center of attention. Now, to be honest, I'm surprised he hasn't picked up a spoon, dug a hole in this floor, and put his head in it like an ostrich yet. So, many of you might know, some of you might know, many of you I don't know. Many years ago, our dad used to offer 2 Steeler tickets, including personal seat license if you married one of his daughters. Now, this was many years ago. They're much older now. Now, after no engagements, like any good salesman, eager to move old product, he changed strategies. And he started offering a finder's fee. Now, I capitalized on that opportunity. Each year on Nikki and Ryan's anniversary, I collect a payment. So that brings me to the commons. Todd, Val, and although his brother and his wife are not here, Brian and Miranda, they joined forces. And they'll tell you, because they introduced Samantha and Dan, and so they'll tell you they care about them both, they just want to see them happy, but I know you're trying to capitalize on my finder's fee. So, Dan, you're a nice guy, and things just can't work out though. See, I know that's disappointing because when you look at Samantha, you see, actually I've been meaning to ask you, Dan, what do you see? You see, I'm sure you'll say someone who's kind, generous, selfless. Several times a year we'll be out of the country to Italy. But Dan, I see so much more. I see new tools for my shop. So, to the Commons, it was a valiant effort, and Dan, you're a good guy, but this can't go any further. Unless you break up, and I introduce you two strangers to each other, then maybe this could work out after all, Dan. Now, this morning, I was at my parents' house, because I didn't want to pay for paper and printing that off. And, my dad came up to me in their office, and my mom's in the bedroom in her chair. My dad comes up and says, "Brent, this evening is about an update on your mother." And I said, "Mom, are you still alive?" She said, "I'm still alive, Brent. There's your update." Now, I guess at some point I should talk about the star of the show, our mother. So, obviously, you know, MS, she has progressive MS. It brings with it a lot of physical restrictions, a lot of physical challenges. This is going to be sunny. I'm going to actually be kind of nice here for a moment and heartfelt. So, it brings with a lot of challenges, but we're very fortunate. Our mom's very fortunate. We have a lot of people that surround us, that can do things, that are willing to help, and that do help. And one way a lot of people help is they come visit our mom. So obviously it's difficult for her to go places, and even though we have a lot of equipment, so our mom has a recliner chair, for example, and it'll help elevate her. We have a lift that'll pick her up, and it has a base on it that's mobile, and we can move her around, a ramp in the garage, a wheelchair accessible van. So even though we have all those different things, it still takes a lot more time and energy if we're trying to take her somewhere. And so a lot of people, one way they help is they come visit, and it helps her keep relationships strong with people she cares about and that care about her. And a lot of those people are sitting at her table tonight. So Becky and Jack always make it a point to come visit my parents. Marilyn comes over, Bill and Mary, you know, these are very close friends of theirs that make an effort to come visit them on a regular basis. And like my sister said, my mom's best friend Tish and her husband Denny drove all the way in for this evening to be with her. And so that's one way a lot of people help. And I'm trying to find them. Where's Cassie and Kathleen, two former students of my mom's, Kathleen and Cassie. They come over every so often, I think every month or so, they come over regularly, and they spend time with her, and they have a little coffee talk, and they just blossom. And my mom loves it, honestly. She loves the visits and really looks forward to them. Now, on a side note, to their fathers, Steve, Tom, where are you? Tom? Okay. If you'd like to start offering a finder's fee, my services are available. And I think we can get this taken care of tonight. Because I know Ryan and Dan are both looking.
Well, you tell me I'm not. So Kathleen.
All right. Also, just recently, I don't know where they're sitting, Aaron and Steve. Where are Aaron and Steve? I don't know. They're going to hide from me. Yeah, Aaron and Steve, yeah. They came over and spent several hours with my mom and dad and visited as well. So, again, a lot of people, that's one way they help, they come visit. Now, not everyone obviously lives as close or can do that. And Candace, where's Candace? There's Candace. Okay, Candace. And if you don't know Candace, that's our cousin Aaron's girlfriend. And she raised money. She raised $1,200 for MS running in the Pittsburgh Half Marathon. Now, Marco, you might remember Marco last year. Marco used to do therapy for my mom. And although she misses her eye candy, he's passed the torch to his sister, Gia, and she comes over now and does therapy about once a week for our mom. And, you know, she needs help with moving her muscles, keeping them active, keeping them engaged. And so Gia does that for her. So they both have been awesome, and now Gia's doing that on a regular basis. And our mom's hairdresser, Pam.
Yeah,
There's Pam. Okay, and Kenna. Oh, Kenna's not here. And who does her nails. And both these ladies make accommodations in their shop so my mom can still access those services. And our mom's massage therapist, Leah. Where's Leah? Oh, there she is. Okay, Leah. So being a massage therapist, obviously very difficult, especially being our mom's massage therapist, is very challenging. Not as challenging as being Deshaun Watson's massage therapist. So it's hard to believe the Browns are going to go through more massage therapists than they have quarterbacks. Now, all these women honestly are amazing. Gia, Leah, Pam, Kenna, they're amazing. They go above and beyond for our mom, and we really can't thank them enough for what they do. Now, that brings me to the last group of people that help our mom, and that's our dad and Samantha and Nikki. So, our dad from day one was our mom's full-time caregiver, and it takes a lot of effort and energy. And honestly, I never, in all these years, can remember him complaining about it. Never once. All he would ever say is, Lord, give me strength. In fact, outside Heaven's Gates, he has a billboard that says, Lord, give me strength. It's just not through Lamar. He didn't want Samantha to get the commission. But he would do, did everything for them. And then Samantha and Nikki are there all the time. Okay, if the day ends in Y, they're there. I'll give you a moment to sink in, Nikki. I see her counting Friday, Saturday. 7 days. You were there 7 days. Yes. Okay. So they.
Oh, okay.
Easy. I'll get there. I'm getting harassed over here. Okay, I didn't forget about her. So they would take care of everything. So one of our big pushes for years was in-home health care. So we finally, last year, you might recall, they started that with their first healthcare provider, which was Jamaica. My mom loves her. From day one, she was amazing. She was very happy with her, very comfortable. And unfortunately, they just found out she's going to be transitioning to a different role within the company. So they're still going to try to keep her on, but we're trying to get a little bit of that figured out. But they liked her so much and now has transitioned to 5 days a week. So Monday through Friday for 2 hours in the morning, they have someone come in. Jamaica does 4 of the days. She doesn't do the 5th because she's with another client. But they do 5 days a week, 2 hours in the morning, help get her ready, get her breakfast, whatever she might need. And then that's still left though. Yeah, my dad leaves. My dad gets the heck out of there. As fast as he can, he comes, takes our dog for a walk, and he comes in the shop and hangs out for a little bit. So then the evenings were still, Nikki and Samantha were over there every single evening. Okay, 7 days a week. They also helped with Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings. They were taking 9 shifts. And that was kind of the next goal. Can we get someone in there in the evenings for when Samantha's out of the country, if they're somewhere on the weekends, whatever it might be. And so that's where Jolie, I got her, Nikki, and Jolie's here this evening. She's sitting next to my mom on her right side there. So Jolie, again, has been amazing, and she comes in 3 nights a week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, helps get her ready for bed, get her whatever she might need. And so these women honestly have been amazing. They've really relieved some of that responsibility on our dad, and they've relieved some of that responsibility on Samantha and Nikki. And I'll talk about my Aunt Leanne more later in the speech, but anytime we needed someone to fill in, our Aunt Leanne, my mom's sister, no hesitation. She would do anything for our mom. But all these women, they do a great job, and we truly are grateful for what they do. And they allow our mom to extend her stay in her home, which is one of our goals as their children. So here's really the point of all of that. Okay, all those people that help. Our mom is treated like a prized thoroughbred. The horses at the Kentucky Derby are not treated this well. But don't worry, Mom, if you break your leg, we won't euthanize you. Now, as always, my family tells me what I can say. Probably more importantly lately, they've told me what I'm not allowed to say. Don't worry, I'm not going to say any of those things. So our dad comes over every day, picks up our dog, takes her for a walk. So a couple weeks ago, I said, Dad, what do you want me to, what would you like me to say? Now I'm thinking he's going to say, we're very blessed that we're in a financial situation for home health care. No. I thought he might say we're very fortunate to have all these people that love us and can help your mom. No. He wants all of you to know one thing. He paid for his ticket to be here tonight. This summer we went back to the beach again, so we went to Bethany Beach, and it was a great time. So just like anything, the beach takes a lot of preparation, so we have to make sure the place is wheelchair accessible, there's elevators, that we have all the accommodations, we have a rolling shower for our mom. So Nikki did a lot of searching. It takes a tremendous amount of research to really find these places, and she found us 2 places. So my parents and Samantha stayed in one room, me, Nikki, Ryan, and Stephanie, and our son Nico stayed in another room. And so that was the first part of it, but then once we're there, we have to be able to have all the accommodations. So we need a shower chair, a beach chair, a wheelchair, you need your lift, your recliner. And thankfully there's companies that provide these services. Honestly, like we wouldn't be able to take these trips if it wasn't for that. So we got all that set up. We went this year, it worked out great. It was great to get our parents back to the beach. Now traveling with our parents, they take a lot of pills, okay? My dad has pills. My mom has pills. I found their pill cases in the elevator. They weren't even staying in our room, and their pills were in there. I promise you, these 2 packed more pill cases than suitcases. So they do keep it interesting. I don't know if it is all the pills, but it keeps my mom and my dad keep it interesting. And I'll share a couple stories here. So at night, our mom went through a little bit of time where she was supposedly hallucinating. So our dad would say, your mom was hallucinating last night. Dad, what did she say? I don't know. Dad, what did she do? I don't know. He's just laughing. Mom, do you remember what you said? I don't know. Do you remember what you did? I don't know. It's like, what's the point of even following up with these 2? It's like Cheech and Chong going together. Now, periodically, our dad has this financial spreadsheet, okay? Now, spreadsheets are supposed to be organized. So our dad loves to bring out his spreadsheet to show us. So one night, Stephanie's at dinner, I'm there, and Nico. Now, I'm pretty good with numbers. Stephanie's very good with numbers. He brings out the spreadsheet, shows it to us. We look at each other. What the hell are we looking at? Here's how, okay, I'll give you a visual. Imagine if you took what's inside Rain Man's head and put it on a piece of paper. And that's what we were looking at. Now, 2 stories to finish here. Let me tell you about the last appointment I took my mom to.
Oh, boy.
No, let me clarify. Let me tell you about the last appointment I've ever taken my mom to. So, if those of you that are local, you might know Dr. DeChellis' office in Dr. Stone Street. He's been our dentist forever, okay? So I take my mom to the dentist appointment. Here's my mom. Here's me. Here's this guy across from us. Small office, okay? Now, don't worry, Mom, it'll be painless. Okay. So this guy's on his phone, just scrolling away, and my mom leans over to me, and you know when people mess around with you, their mouths are moving and no words come out? Well, my mom did that. She thought she whispered something to me. I said, Mom, I don't know what you said. And we're always telling her, Mom, if you greet her at the door, you probably thought the same thing. We say, Mom, speak up. We can't hear you. Wow. The Holy Spirit filled those lungs to full capacity this day. And she goes, Sir. Okay. Next she goes, Excuse me, sir. Mom, what are you doing? This guy's right here. Okay, right here. She goes, Tom. I go, oh my God, Mom. So now, there's that moment where I say, my mom knows this guy. Maybe I should get his attention. So before I can make my decision, out comes the dental hygienist. Michael? And you guessed it, up popped Tom. And here goes Tom right by us in the back. And my mom goes, I swear that was Tom I went to school with. I go, Mom, that's not, either Tom is in witness protection program or that's not Tom. So, here's the thing, when you go to an appointment with my parents, you basically got to check all the boxes on the medical form. I thought, Mom, don't add crazy to it. So that was the last appointment. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is the newest progression with her MS, because it is progressive MS, her right arm. So her right arm starting to get very restricted, and she's losing mobility in it, so it's like this a lot, it's hard to straighten out. So one way we help her, and one way I can help her, is she has this Theragun. So if you're not familiar with Theragun, a little handheld, got a rubber pad on the end, and you hold it, it just will pulsate on her arm, and it'll help massage her muscles. One day she's got me doing this at the house, I'm 4 hours in. I go, Mom, can I just take a 20-second break? She goes, and like any good mother, she knows how to guilt you into doing what she wants. She goes, Marilyn's done that with many children. She goes, that's fine, just know I gave birth to you. And so there I stood. Here's the thing, with her arm, if they were to play right now Village People by YMCA, the YMCA by Village People, she'd struggle with the Y, but she'd make one hell of an M. So, because of this, she's been going to Cleveland Clinic a lot more. Now again, like I mentioned, our Aunt Leanne does a lot for our mom as well. And so she's been going on a lot of these appointments together. Now there's something in the cupola blood though, because when they're driving together, you don't get one backseat driver, you get two backseat drivers. And so when you're with them, it's slow down. Look how close you are. Do you see that car? You're still in the driveway. So the biggest step they're trying to make, supposedly, I'm still a skeptic on this, and I'll explain why. Botox is supposed to be able to help loosen the muscles. Now, I've seen faces with Botox, and they don't look looser. So I am a skeptic, but hopefully we're really, really hoping it works. But it gave me a great idea. So I think because she's getting Botox, we should do a spin-off of the Real Housewives series with a couple exceptions. So instead of featuring a group of women well past their prime, and we'll have ladies looking over their shoulder for father time. Instead of riding around in Bentleys and private jets, they ride around in motorized scooters and hearse. Instead of picking out wallpaper and designer clothes, they pick out headstones and burial plots. Easy. And instead of implants and cosmetic surgery, it's organ transplants and hip replacements. Although I guess there will be a couple similarities, lots of yelling. Although instead of because of infidelity, this will be because of lack of hearing. And there will be a new cast every season, but for a much different reason. Thank you. God bless. Throw something in the tip jar.